guys, it's Becca from South by Texas State, and today I'm sitting down with Keli Dailey, the creator, host, and producer of the comedy web series called News Hangover. Keli is presenting a South by Southwest session that I'm really excited about. It's called Comedy is the New Journalism, the Power of Satire. So as a young woman interested in news, I'm really excited about this panel, and I think News Hangover is great. Can you talk a little bit about News Hangover and what the project is?
Sure. So we all know what satire is, right? Actually, no, I'm teaching a class on it. Ask people like, hey, give me a definition of it. It means making fun of something to expose its truth, right? And we know Ben Franklin did this before there was even an America. He was working in newspapers and writing articles making fun of the powers that be, which would be King George and a lot of other crazy loyalists here in America. I don't want to get too deep into the history of satire, but, you know, you've got Mark Twain, you've got Dave Barry currently, and, of course, everyone on Comedy Central and HBO who came out of the Daily Show factory. I mean, it's like a sausage factory, the way they've just been outputting humorists who take on issues of the day and make fun of it.
So then my next question is, maybe in the broader sense, how important do you think it is, I guess especially today, to find inventive ways to reach audiences? Like maybe what do you think about news outlets using Snapchat and things like that?
Yeah, so one great thing, I'm based out here in San Francisco, very close to Silicon Valley and Stanford, and there the user, the user is king. Everything is like tailored to the experience that your viewer wants, right? So where everyone's building algorithms over at Facebook to just show you news from friends you like that you really, really like. You know, sorry, I just read a big piece about that, and it's really surprising because we all have like 500 friends on Facebook, and if we got everybody's update, we would hate life. But it really selects only people we care about somehow because it watches us like the ultimate big brother. But so newsrooms are waking up to the idea that they have to court their potential audiences and maintain the ones they've already got by making content in multiple platforms. And so if everyone's on Snapchat, oh yeah, you better get over to Snapchat and put some content there that can disappear in what, like 4 seconds? What is the...
10 is the maximum.
Okay, well,
10 seconds.
10 is too much. They should really tune that down to 4.
I know.
My short-term memory ends at 3, so... so one thing that we found, even with my project, we looked at our audience first. Mm-hmm. We spent lots of time, getting to know their smell and their likes and dislikes. And they say that the smell part was a reference to the saying that a shepherd should know the smell of his own sheep. So if you have a flock, you should really be intimate with them. And so that's what we did. We did lots of interviews, one-on-ones. We threw a big live show where we tricked everybody. It was really a focus group, but it was done as an improv show. So all the suggestions that they gave were really revealing of what their concerns and fears are about life, and that's what our show is really based on. So Becca, just the audience is the only thing that's going to keep journalism alive. You can make wonderful journalism that no one reads, and then it has no impact. And that's why comedy, being able to carry difficult topics like refugees and migrants that John Oliver did on Last Week Tonight recently, carrying this vast, complex topic to a viewership on HBO and really chopping it up into digestible bits and great metaphors and all these techniques. It's what great journalism has always aspired to do, right? To be really impactful and coherent, which is not my strength, it seems like right now, but it is the goal. It's what, at my highest self, that's what I aspire to be.
What we're all striving to do. So kind of along those lines then, with audiences coming first, it's not content anymore. Now the audience comes first. I think I read that before you talked about respecting the intelligence of your audience. So can you expand on that aspect a little bit?
Sure. It's people are open to new information, but no one wants to be talked down to, right? I think the era of snark really was what you don't know this.
Yeah.
The high period of the hipster, just kind of like you're out of the group if you can't find Qatar on a map.
Yeah.
I don't know any hipsters that were saying that, but I felt they were thinking it.
Sure.
But so today, I feel audiences can go elsewhere. We are at peak content. This is an attention economy that we live in today. So if there's any false moment, any inauthentic moment, any moment where you've just insulted the intelligence of your audience, we used to call it jump the shark, when your audience was like, oh, you know what? We don't buy Fonzie surfing in a leather jacket, and he was water skiing over a shark. Like, once you lose people, once you've somehow not brought them into your community. And this is the beautiful thing about comedy. It always is about bringing you in, like getting you to do that involuntary thing, which is to laugh. And last little note about that part, if you listen to President Obama, even when he is about to do a difficult talk, say on an executive action introduction on gun control in an audience of people who have lost someone to gun violence, he'll start off with a joke. He'll say something about someone there in the audience and just lighten the mood a little bit. And it makes people so much more receptive, at least the ones that are in the room.
Right.
Maybe not the counterpoint people in the wings waiting to respond to a State of the Union address or something. But it's just a little bit of community building by making someone laugh.
Yeah, very cool. So for your panel or session at South by, what can we expect to get out of that? Like, what are we going to learn from you?
Well, the best thing I can tell you is I've gone to a bunch of comedians and journalists, and when I've told them comedy is the new journalism, Mark Maron, whom I love and adore, find any excuse to send him an email. He only responded this one time when I said, hey, what do you think of this panel at South by Southwest I'm doing? And he was like, comedy is not the new journalism.
How dare you?
Right. So I will spend a few hours proving my argument.
Okay.
I definitely go through history, through current times, definitely compare the greatest hits of journalism with the greatest hits of comedy news. And both have become such agenda setters, right? Like the things that we talk about. Well, Hannibal Buress made a joke about Bill Cosby being a sexual predator, and then suddenly it was on the national agenda. It's happening time and time again that some funny person makes us care about a topic. And I could go through millions and millions, not millions, 35 examples. But I'm going to whittle that down and definitely show some clips, definitely show, let people experience the things I'm referencing. There may be some Ben Franklin mentioned. I might have a wig. You never know. You never know.